Let's bring in Tom E. Curran, the Patriots Insider, working for NBC Sports Boston. Wow, you got what kind of shirt you got on there today?
Well, I I haven't yet gone to your website to pick up the spare inventory, so I have a nice. I thought Fritzy said it's Loud Golf Shirt Friday.
Yeah,
and apparently I've been duped.
Todd, did you tell Tom? It's not Loud Golf Shirt
I may
Friday.
have led him down a dark path, and now we could all kind of humiliate him and laugh at him.
You got catfished by Fritzy.
Not the first.
No. Well, we're glad to have you, Tom. I don't know how New England reacted to Peter Schrager's mock draft yesterday. Peter, of course, works for the NFL Network, and he raised some eyebrows saying the Patriots, he had them moving up to number 4 to take perhaps a quarterback, Justin Fields. Unpatriot-like. What did you make of that?
Yeah, it's unpatriotic, and I don't think that's going to happen. When you look at the amount that San Francisco had to pay to get up to number 3, Patriots are not going to be in the business of giving the 15th and then probably 2 more first-rounders to go up there and get a guy who I thought Mike Lombardi was really good on his podcast this week, explaining why the grades just won't justify it on a Justin Fields or a Trey Lance if those guys are the 2 remaining. You can't just jump up there and then not have the verbiage, as Lombardi explained it, to say, okay, he grades at this level to be that level pick. He's going to be one of the top 10 players in the league. He makes everyone around him better. He requires more than one player to defend him and take him away. I just don't know that Lance and Fields are going to be those guys.
How involved is, I guess, Belichick does he ever get impatient? You know, that he's kind of seeing everybody, hey, guys are getting their quarterbacks. I don't really have my quarterback. We spent a lot of money on free agents, but we still don't have a rock-solid quarterback. Is Bill getting more impatient as he gets older?
I don't think so. I mean, he's been paralyzed since 2017 at the position. They traded Jimmy Garoppolo away, and now all they've done is kind of chase Tom Brady out of town, draft Danny Etling, draft Jarrett Stidham, sign Cam Newton, trade for Brian Hoyer. I mean, if he's impatient, he hasn't signaled it yet. And really, I think Belichick is more hardwired on the draft to kind of scoff at the rest of the league when it gets thirsty and try and be that guy who likes to buy distressed assets. So, sitting at 15, I could see him jumping down, Dan.
But you can do that when you have Tom Brady. But when you don't have Tom Brady, then you can make moves, but it still comes back to, boy, imagine if they had a really good quarterback.
I think that there, however, is some well-founded confidence bordering on arrogance of, look, we had a bad roster last year. We won 7 games with Cam. He didn't have an off season. We had actual tight ends and wide receivers that the Patriots really, and Bill, I don't think really blames himself for not staffing the rooms, but he ought to. But we add all those players and we get a bunch back on defense and we're better there. You think we're not going to win 11 games? You're out of your mind. We can put anybody back there. And that, to me, is an interesting aspect of the Patriots. Look, yeah, maybe we might have a duct tape answer at quarterback right now, but we're good enough on Sundays and at other positions to mitigate that issue that we absolutely do have.
If a quarterback is there, what are the Patriots, 15th? If a quarterback is there somehow, do you think Bill takes a quarterback?
If he's just sitting there, if Trey Lance is just sitting there, it's got to be hard. It's got to be hard. I mean, when you think of all the players that the Patriots have passed on in the first rounds and later in rounds, second round picks, Lamar Jackson was sitting there at 31. They took Sony Michel. I understand why the Patriots might look at Lamar Jackson and say, look, he's got one indefensible skill in terms of his speed and his electricity as a runner, but we don't know how he projects. And, well, Lamar Jackson's been an MVP. Sony Michel is now going to be a backup running back to Damian Harris. So I think that they probably would pass and take a better player who's been pushed down the board by all those quarterbacks and wide receivers. That's what I think they would do. But I don't know if that's the right thing to do.
And then I wonder, with the Niners going all in on whoever they're going to take at number 3, then you got Jimmy Garoppolo there as, in a lame duck season here.
Yeah.
But does Bill, is there part of him that says, I don't need to move up in the draft. I'm eventually going to be trading for Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yeah, I think that he has very much let the game come to him at the quarterback position. I think that is really what they are. Because if you look at Jimmy Garoppolo or Teddy Bridgewater, those guys to me are interchangeable. Yet Bridgewater is actually more durable despite the catastrophic leg injury he had. And he's $8 million a year cheaper. So if you trade for Teddy Bridgewater, which I don't think is going to happen at $17 million, and I don't think that the Patriots are going to trade for Garoppolo at 25, but I don't think Garoppolo is going to take a pay cut. So they're pinched in. I would say it's 65 to 75% likely you're going to see either Cam Newton or Jarrett Stidham under center when the season begins. They will add someone, but I don't know if it's going to be anybody that we say, oh, that guy's definitely better than Stidham and Newton.
We're talking to Tom Curran, the Patriots Insider. Julian Edelman, the knee situation, may not be able to play this upcoming season, which might mark the end of Julian Edelman's career here. How serious is this?
It's serious in that it's not going to be really fixable. You know, last year, the surgery he had was to get him back to where he was in August and early September because it worsened during the year. So he's going to enter the season. Karen Garigian from the Boston Herald reporting that it's unlikely he'll play the full season. And I think that most of us would have taken the under on Julian Edelman at 16 games anyway. But there will be a point where he says, yeah, okay, I can definitely get open within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage, but can I do anything to make people miss afterwards? Can I protect myself? It'll be interesting to see because I think the NFL is going to have to be pried from his cold, dead NFL hand before he gives up. And I also think that he is more loyal to the Patriots than other people who would get sideways with Bill and say, I want to go someplace else. So I would be surprised if he doesn't retire a Patriot.
Yeah.
But I also don't think he's going to make a decision before August.
Before I let you go, we were talking about this during the commercial break. Who's the most beloved sports star in Boston or New England history?
History?
Yeah.
I would say Greg Kite.
Okay, that's what I went with.
I don't know.
I said Bird or Brady, just those two, who's more beloved?
I think Bird probably, or Bobby Orr is probably the most beloved because it's just there's an aura around him. But all of those guys, probably Brady because there's a lot of, probably Bird right now because there's a lot of agitation about Brady's departure and the success that he's had. Bird is pretty much bulletproof. Russell, I think, is adored for what he did and what he represents now. I don't think he was so adored in the 70s and 80s. But, yeah, we're freaking lucky. I mean, when you compare Boston to the other towns, maybe that's a good grab-ass story for me on a Friday. Who's got the best array of Mount Rushmore athletes? Who? Dan, who?
Well, we're going to start. Brady's going to be up there. Bird's going to be up there. Is Bird over Bill Russell?
Yeah, I think so. And then, you got Orr.
Now your baseball player is.
You got Ted Williams or Poppy. So it's a tough array. I mean, you put that up against Colorado. You got John Elway and Andres Galarraga or Todd Helton.
Okay, but does Southern California, how do you do Los Angeles here?
Well, I mean, who are you going to go with in Southern California? I mean,
well, basketball, I got a variety of guys to pick from.
Kareem, nobody likes Kareem.
Magic.
All right, Magic.
Kobe.
Okay. All right, Kobe's probably still, but you're going to have to go multiple same sports.
Yeah.
Who are you going to go with for the Kings?
Gretzky.
Oh, part-timer.
But that was a huge moment when he got traded from Edmonton. It changed the NHL.
All right, so
baseball, I got Sandy Koufax. How's that?
That's good. Yeah, that's really good.
Now football,
Ferragamo,
Roman Gabriel,
Eric Dickerson, I guess.
Yeah,
huh?
I could have Eric in there.
I don't know if you're going to be able to find a better Mount Rushmore than Boston's.
What about New York?
What about it?
I'm just saying.
Willis Reed.
I got Babe Ruth. I got Babe Ruth. Hold on, home slice. I got Joe Namath and I got Babe Ruth to start out with. Okay,
that's Joe Namath. He threw more picks than touchdowns, man.
Okay, Lawrence Taylor.
Okay, that's better.
Okay, so Walt
Still not
Frazier.
better than Brady.
Walt Frazier.
Not Larry Bird.
Okay.
I mean, you can try and appropriate Doc from being in New Jersey.
All right. Maybe it's Boston. Okay.
It is Boston.
But why are
yeah.
you so defensive? I'm just this a
It's
conversation.
parochial. We're a parochial area. We're a parochial area.
I got your parochial right here.
Tell Fritzy, please, not to do this to me again. 'Cause I'm watching.
Everybody is laughing at you. Everybody.
This is ridiculous.
And you didn't buy that for this appearance. You own that.
Well, I had to fish it out.
But you own that. Did anybody ever tell you look like the actor Charles from Midnight Run with De Niro? Charles Grodin.
No, I have a very malleable face. I've gotten the Ed Burns guy. I've gotten Drew Brees. I've been messied. I've gotten Al Bundy.
I could see Charles Grodin, Midnight Run with De Niro.
It was a great performance.
Yes, it was. It was an unbelievable. I could see Drew Brees there. I see a little bit of that. Like Drew Brees with a really ugly shirt on. I could see it.
Yeah. Hey, you know what, Dan? I've had enough of you.
All right, Tom. Thanks for joining us.
I'll see you guys.
Talk to you soon. That's Tom E. Curran. Tom E. Curran, the Patriots Insider.